I'm going live now for the first time on YouTube. So now, guys, you have me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And I'm going to try to do this like I do regular Good Starts every week, every Wednesday, and in the morning times. So, guys, check it out. Today is going to be a little bit of a touchier subject. It's going to be a little bit of a harder message to portray and to get across. You know, you can watch TV while Papa's doing. Amaya just started a movie all by herself. She's getting too big. But yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be encouraging when we're done. And I believe that you're going to enjoy this message when we get to the end of it. What sparked today's Good Starts is that I got a word from God Sunday at church. I shared it with the congregation, and it was basically saying that if we truly trust God, if we truly believe God is God and that He is the Creator, He knows all, and is sovereign, who are we to question His plan for our lives? So, Sunday service had a lot to do with rain. Trying to readjust this. I'm gonna just stop trying to be in the middle of the screen. You know, I would probably be in the middle of my screen on Facebook if I would just go ahead and enlarge, make that page full screen. I don't know why that was messing with me, but it was. So, and now I've fixed it. So, back on track for Good Starts. So yeah, he gave me a word that, you know, we talked a lot about. There was a lot of words given about rain and how the rain falls and how it refreshes and all these things. So we know the story of Job, right? Job, Satan ends up having a conversation with God because Satan is roaming around the land to and fro, and God looks upon, or God, it doesn't say He looks, that's just my wording. It says that God looks at Satan and He says, "Have you considered my perfect servant Job?" Baby, I don't need no more. You can come up here, you can be on screen with me. He says, "Have you considered my perfect servant Job?" But Satan tells God, "Look, I can't even get near that guy. You've got such a great hedge of protection around him. There's nothing I can do to get to him and to influence him away from you." He said, "But if you'll let me do whatever I want to him, if you'll let me do whatever I need to do to him," he said, "I will have him cursing your name." So God says, "Okay." He goes, "Do your worst, see what you can do." But God knew Job. God knew Job's heart and how his heart was for him. Babe, you can't touch those because Papa is live. Just sit here and be with me. And so Satan proceeds to wreak havoc on Job's life. Kills his children. Kills all of his livestock. I mean, just wipes Job out. And even Job's wife turns on him and says, "Won't you just curse your God at this point and die?" His own wife tells him this. So all throughout this whole chapter, Job proceeds to say that he wishes he was never born. He goes through this whole woe is me stage. Even Job's so-called friends tell him that he's got some kind of secret sin in his life, because if he didn't have any secret sin in his life, then this thing wouldn't be happening to him. That he's sinned against God, and that is the final judgment from his friends. And Job knows that he has not sinned against God. Job knows that he has kept the commandments and that he has stayed true to God. So towards the end of this chapter, Job and the Lord, God, has a conversation. And Job starts questioning God about all these things that are going on. And what I want to do is, okay, baby, you've got to either stay still or you got to go. You want to go? You want to go? Go get Gigi? I can play the movie again. Is that what you want? Godzilla? You trying to watch Godzilla? Or no? You're not? I'm going to pause it. If you're not watching, I'm going to pause it. The life. Anyway, so that's where we are going to pick up. Like, not with Job questioning God, but God's rebuttal to Job, which I can't imagine felt too great for God to be telling you, where were you? You know what I mean? Like, Job's questioning God, like, why is all this stuff happening to me? What are you doing to me? Why? And I've heard a lot of pastors say that the whys will beat you up. Instead of saying why, say what. But anyway, we pick up in chapter 38, and I think we're going to go through probably verse 5 or maybe 7. So, verse 1. Job chapter 38, verse 1. And the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, so God came to Job in a whirlwind, and Job started asking all these questions. And then God reveals his omnipotence to Job with this. He says in verse 2, who is this who darkens counsel by words without knowledge? That's the first thing that God says to him. You don't know crap. Basically, in layman's terms, God tells Job, you don't know a freaking thing. Who are you to speak to me and darken my counsel, you who are without knowledge of anything that is going on? So first off, God rebukes Job. So take that, Job. No, come on, like God is rebuttaling Job with a you don't know crap type word. But anyway, he goes on to explain why he's saying, who are you to darken my counsel, who are without knowledge? He goes to tell him why. Sorry about that, guys. I got a phone call. That happens. Anyway, but he goes on to tell Job, why he feels, oh crap, my Facebook, hold on, guys. Because of that call, my Facebook page got, and look behind I'm going to move this iPad. Sorry, guys. Wasn't prepared to get a phone call. There we go. We're back live on Facebook. Let me go ahead. All right, there we go. All right. I think we're good to go, unless another phone call comes in. Amaya? Hold on, let me get Amaya. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Here, let's see. Wow. Come on, let's go. You got Moana. Moana stick.
That city structure is built on nanocheese. So tell me just how that's going to affect new prosperous era is waiting for its chance to rise.
I'm back, guys. All right, I'm back. So, anyway, like I was saying, God goes on to explain to Job why he says that he is without knowledge. Go Jews. God goes on to say, where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it? To where were its foundations fastened? Or who laid its cornerstones? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Or who shut the sea with doors when it burst forth and issued from the womb? When I made the clouds its garments, and thick darkness was swaddling band, when I fixed my limit for it and set bars and doors, when I said, this far you may come, but no farther. And here your proud waves must stop. Have you commanded the morning since your days began, and caused the dawn to know its place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, and the wicked shall be shaken out of it. I mean, he goes on and goes on, and he talks about the depths. And have you ever seen the treasure of the hail or the snow? I mean, and God goes on to explain to Job that I'm not putting you down for what you've been through, but what I'm saying is you don't know what I'm doing. You have no clue what is going on, and how dare you question me? I am the creator of the world. I am the great I am. I am the one that set the foundations of the earth. I am the one that told the waves they can go no further. I am the one that made the stars sing at night. I mean, he goes on to just humble Job with this omnipresent and omnipowerful explanation of who he is. He is God Almighty, and he needs not to explain himself to anybody. Now, there's a good ending to the story of Job. Job ended up having kids and grandkids and I would imagine great grandkids. And everything that Job had before was restored to him 100-fold. Job was exalted by God for humbling himself. That's a New Testament word. Humble yourself and you will be exalted. Job didn't understand the situation. Job didn't understand why all these bad things were happening to him, but he never stopped trusting God. Even though he asked those hard questions, even though he wanted to know why, he never stopped believing, he never stopped trusting. And that's what we have to do. No matter the situation that we're going through, no matter how hard it is, and I know I've been talking to a lot of people lately that are going through some really hard situations. I'm going through some really hard situations. But we have to trust and believe that God knows what's going on. God sees these hard situations that we're going through, and he doesn't want us to say why, he wants us to say what. What am I doing through this hard situation to better you? What am I doing through this hard situation for you to see that I'm going to get the glory? God ended up getting the glory out of Job's situation, because when Job was restored back to his original state in 100-fold, Job knew that God had worked everything out for his own good. Jeremiah 29:11. He knows the plans he has for us, and they're plans to prosper us and not to harm us. What you're going through is not meant to harm you. It's meant to prosper you. Maybe it's working patience. Maybe it's working strength. Maybe it's working love. Maybe it's working joy. Whatever it's working something for you that God has already planned for it to work for you. God doesn't allow anything to happen without there being a purpose for it. And I know what you're thinking. What about cancer? What about all these things that happen to us? God didn't create those things. That is like Satan's way of saying, watch what I do. I'm going to make this person hate God. Watch what I can do to this person to make them lose their faith. It's the same situation of Job. God didn't cause the issues to happen to Job. He allowed it to happen. He allowed it to happen, but Satan caused it. Satan caused it. Satan can cause things in your life. But God wants to use those things that Satan causes in your life for his glory. Will you trust him today? Will you allow yourself to go through this hard thing, believing that God is going to work it out? I thank you guys for watching. On YouTube, subscribe to my channel so that you can get all the good starts. Like, follow, and share on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. Comment, let me know what you think about these. I love you guys. I hope you have a blessed rest of the week. Bye. I don't know how to end YouTube yet. Maybe that.